Learn to play the piano and how to play your first song in just 10 steps. In this piano lesson, I will show you 10 easy steps to get you started to play the piano. After this video lesson of about 20 minutes, you will already be able to play your first simple song on the piano and you'll know the basics of reading sheet music. So let's get started with the piano lessons. I will shortly list the 10 steps and after that I will go in detail to each step. Step 1. Obtain the piano. Step 2. The correct posture. Step 3. The correct hand position. Step 4. Learn the numbers of your fingers. Step 5. Learn how to use the metronome. Step 6. Get to know the piano keys. Step 7. Learn the notes on the staff. Step 8. Learn about note lengths and measures. Step 9. Get the feeling of playing notes on the piano. And finally step 10. Play that song. So let's start with step 1. Now of course, when you don't have a piano at your disposal, you will need to buy one. But which one? Do you need an acoustic piano or an electric one? Now, when you want that feeling of a real piano, you want to go definitely for an acoustic piano. But an acoustic piano is expensive and it takes a lot of space and it's very heavy. An electric piano is cheaper and not so heavy, and especially the better ones come very close to the real piano feeling and sound. Another advantage of electric pianos is that they have not only one piano sound, but usually different piano sounds, organ sounds, and even sounds of other instruments like guitar, percussion, and special effects. If you want to know more about which piano to buy, and for more information and tips when you're looking for a piano, click on link 1 in the description below the video. Step 2. When sitting in front of the piano, your arms should be horizontal. Your elbow should be at the same height as the keyboard or eventually a little bit higher. To achieve this, adjust the height of the bench. Your back should be straight. Place your knees slightly under the keyboard and keep your feet flat on the ground near or on the pedals. And, most important, relax. Relax your muscles, relax your body and your shoulders. Step 3. Never hold your hand and fingers flat. Your hand and fingers should be curved, as if you would hold a tennis ball. Step 4. It's important to use the right finger positions in order to be able to link the consecutive notes in a melody nicely together. Both hands use the same finger numbering. The thumb is finger number 1, index finger number 2, middle finger number 3, ring finger number 4, and the little finger is finger number 5. Step 5. A good habit is to use the metronome when practicing the piano. With a metronome, you keep a steady rhythm without speeding up or slowing down the notes of the exercise. Start to put the metronome on a slow tempo, for example 60 beats per minute. If this is still too quick, simply slow it down even more, till you master the exercise at that speed. Once mastered, speed it up. Set the metronome on a higher tempo and redo the exercise. If you master it at the higher tempo, speed it up even more, till you master it at the wanted speed. A bad habit is to want to play a melody, a song, or an exercise directly at high speed, because you will make mistakes. A lot of people start at a high speed and they think that if they will play it again and again at this high speed, they will master it at a certain moment. Don't make this mistake. Start slowly, and when you're able to play it well, then speed things up. And oh yeah, by the way, a metronome doesn't have to be expensive. You can simply download a free metronome on your phone. Step 6. When you look at the piano keyboard, you see black and white keys. When you look a bit closer, you can see that there's a pattern in the piano keys. You can see that the best by looking at the black keys. You will see groups of 2 black keys and groups of 3 black keys. Now look at a group of 2 black keys. It doesn't matter which one. The white key at the left side of a group of 2 black keys is called the C. When you play a note on a C key, you hear the note C. You can see that there is not only one C on the keyboard. Every time you have a group of 2 black keys, the white key just at the left side is a C. Let me go on by naming the other keys. From the C key, we can go on with the white keys just at the right side of the C. Take the next letter in the alphabet, which is the D. Keep going on in alphabetical order till you reach the letter G. So, E, F and G. For the last 2 white keys, at the left side of the C, we go down alphabetically. So from C, we have B and A. Let's have a look again at the Cs. Of all the Cs, there's one C that we call the middle C. The middle C is typically the note that divides the piano keyboard in 2 parts. A lower part at the left side of the middle C and an upper part at the right side of the middle C. Usually, you play the upper part with the right hand and the lower part with the left hand. Although you can play notes lower than the middle C with your right hand and notes higher than the middle C with the left hand. For more information on the middle C, click on link 2 in the description below the video. So, we now know the names of all the white keys, but what about the black keys? Well, we don't need them for now, but if you're interested, click on link 3 in the description below the video. Step 7. Musical notes are written on a set of 5 horizontal lines, which we call the staff. There's one staff for the right hand and one for the left hand. To indicate which one we're dealing with, we put a symbol at the beginning of the staff, a treble clef for the right hand and a bass clef for the left hand. For now we will only look at the treble clef. As mentioned before, the treble clef is for the right hand and is therefore meant for the higher notes. The higher notes are the note from middle C and higher, although it is possible to use the treble clef also for notes lower than middle C. In the staff, you can see how to display notes on the staff with the treble clef. Try to memorize those notes, as it will help you to quickly read notes. A handy trick to memorize the treble clef notes is the following. The notes that go in between the lines make the word face. If you want to have more information about the treble clef, click on link 4 in the description below the video. If you want more information about the bass clef, click on link 5 in the description below the video. Step 8. Notes can be played short or long. Note lengths are measured in number of beats. A note can have a length of 1 beat, 2 beats, 3 beats, 4 beats, or also fractions of a beat. A note that has a length of exactly 1 beat is written as follows. We call this a quarter note. A note with a length of 2 beats is a half note, and you write it like this. A note with a length of 4 beats is a whole note, and you write it as follows. Okay, let me show you first a simple melody with quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. Under the staff, I put again the note names, the number of beats for each note, and the finger positions. Remember that the thumb is number 1, the middle finger is number 3, and the little finger number 5. I will now show how this simple melody is played. You will hear the metronome count to 4 before the melody starts. Now, in most songs, it's possible to count repeatedly from 1 to 4 together with a beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. We call every 1, 2, 3, 4 a measure, or also called a bar. In the staff with our melody, you have 2 measures of each 4 beats. In the staff, we divide the measures by vertical lines. So in our staff, we would have a vertical line here. The red arrows show each beat. You see there are 4 beats per measure. The half note, the first C, takes 2 beats. The 2 quarter notes, the E and the G, each 1 beat. And the whole note, the last C, takes 4 beats, the whole measure. And now you also understand why we call a whole note, since it fills exactly 1 whole measure. A half note fills half of a measure, and a quarter note a quarter measure. And you can have up to 4 quarter notes in 1 measure. We call a song that has 4 quarter notes in a measure a song in 4 quarter time. As this is most common, we also call this common time. An example of music that is not in common time is a waltz. A waltz has 3 counts per measure. In the beginning of a staff, just after the treble clef, we write the next symbol for a song in 4 quarter time. And since it's so common, we also often use the next symbol. For more information about beats and measures, click on link 6 in the description below the video. Step 9. We will now play our first notes on the piano. In the first exercise, you will play 2 consecutive notes, the C and the D. Now I hear you say, that doesn't sound too difficult. Well, that's true. It is not very difficult. But the purpose of this exercise is not just to play 2 consecutive notes. The purpose is to link both notes nicely together, like this. Try that yourself. Use finger 1, so the thumb, for the C and finger 2, the index finger, for the D. Be aware that there's no gap between the notes, so it may not sound as... And be sure that the notes don't overlap, like this. So you may not hear the C and the D at the same time. Okay, as I said, it's not very difficult, but if you've never done it before, you might need to play it a few times before you can play it smoothly. Try this also when going from the D to the E, fingers 2 and 3, from E to F, fingers 3 and 4, and from F to G, fingers 4 and 5. Okay, you mastered that now? That's fantastic. So let's move to the second exercise. You will play the note sequence as displayed on the staff. So that's the notes C, D, E, F, G. It sounds as follows. Be sure to link the notes nicely together, not leaving any gaps, and without playing two notes at the same time. Great! Now let's do the same exercise, but now with the metronome. Put the metronome at 60 beats per minute. Or, if you prefer, you can take another speed. Just make sure that it's not too quick for you. Let the metronome count 4 clicks, and then start to play the sequence. With every beat, so that's every click of the metronome, play the next note. The last note, the G, is a whole note, so hold that note for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. You can also go up and down, as is showed in this staff. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, always start slowly, so 60 beats per minute, for example. Then, when you master it well, speed it up to 70 beats per minute, 80 beats per minute, etc. You can make all kinds of variations, like this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be sure to use the same finger positions as you used the whole time. So in this exercise, this would be finger 1 on C, finger 3 on E, and finger 5 on G. Okay, let's do one last exercise. A bit more difficult now. And oh yeah, if you're not able to play this one correctly, that's no problem at all. You can normally go on with the next steps. Okay, here's the staff. As in the previous examples, use the same finger position, so 1 on C, 2 on D, 3 on E, 4 on F, and finger 5 on G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you've made it up to here, you really deserve congratulations. Well, especially, of course, if you also could do this last exercise. But even if this last exercise was too difficult, it's still a great achievement. You now really master the very basics of piano playing, and you're ready to move to the next step. Step 10. Everyone knows, of course, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's a very simple song. This song consists of 3 parts. We will split up the song in 3 little parts that are very easy to play. The first part is this. And that's all. The second part is this. And the third part is this. And that's all. The song consists of only those 3 parts. You play first part 1, then part 2, then part 3, and then again you play part 3. This part is repeated. Then again part 1, and then part 2. But let's see that once we're doing the song. Okay, so let's start. So we start for part 1 with our thumb with finger number 1 on the C. Then we play it twice. Then we go with finger 4, so the ring finger on G, also 2 times. With our little finger on the A, also 2 times. And back with finger 4 on the G. Only 1 time, but twice as long. So, again. So the notes are C, C, G, G, A, G. And the finger positions are 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4. And that's part 1. Part 2. So we ended with finger 4 on the G, and then we go to part 2, which has finger 3 on the F. There we go. So again, I started with finger 3 on the F, 2 times, F, F, finger 2 on the E, 2 times, finger 1 on the D, also 2 times, and then you go with your index finger over your thumb to the C only once. So again, F, F, E, E, D, D, C. And the fingers 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. Now, part 3. Go with your little finger on the G. 2 times. 2 times with your ring finger on the F. 2 times with your middle finger on the E. And 1 time with your index finger on the D. One more time. G, G, F, F, E, E, D. So fingers 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2. And those are the 3 parts that you have to know. So that's quite simple. Now let me play the whole song with the metronome. I will put the metronome on 60 beats per minute. You can start at another speed, of course, if that fits for you. After you master it at a certain speed, as always, increase the speed if you can. So, I will put the metronome on and then let it count to 4 and then start the song. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was part 1. That was part 2. Part 3, again. Now to part 1. And we finish with part 2. And that's the whole song. Perhaps you noticed that on every part 1, part 2, part 3, the notes mostly last for 1 count. Only the last note is 2 counts. You have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Let me do that with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Next part. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Next part. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. And so on. So every time in each part, the first notes are all 1 count, only the last note of each part is 2 counts. I will play it one more time with the metronome. Pay attention to the finger positions and also to the timing. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, now you practice it yourself. Start with 60 beats per minute, or another speed if it's okay for you, and then slightly increase the speed as always.
And that's it. You played your first song on the piano, and I think you deserve a big applause for this. Now, when you're interested in an in-depth complete piano course for beginners, in link number 7 in the description area below this video, you can check out my 14-hour video course to learn the piano for total beginners. In this course, you will learn how to play songs on the piano, you will learn music theory, how to read music, and you will learn the basics of improvisation using the blues scale. So check out link number 7 in the description below this video, and perhaps we'll meet again inside my piano course. Okay, one last thing. I have a question for you, and that is, which of the 10 steps made you advance the best to start to learn the piano? Was it step 6, get to know the piano keys? Or was it step 9, get the feeling of playing notes on the piano? Or was it another step? Please let me know right now by leaving a comment. Thanks a lot!